Hey, welcome to another day of mobility. If you haven't already, find yourself a nice comfy spot on your mat or your floor. Take a couple of nice relaxing breaths. Don't worry about changing your breath in any way. Just pay attention to it. Follow that breath as it comes into your body, down into your diaphragm, and then slowly leaves your body. And we'll slowly shape that breath into a nice relaxing rhythm. Generally, when we slow that breath down, helps us slow our body down and our mind down and allows us to heal. Sometimes it's useful to count the duration of that breath, and feel free to do that if you like. Just pick a count for an inhale, a hold, an exhale, and a hold. If you're not sure where to start, a 4 count is good for a little box breath. And then extend from there. And if you start counting and it just doesn't agree with you, just doesn't sit right, or if that adds any kind of negativity to the experience, don't bother counting. It's just there for you if you need it. Let's take one more deep, relaxing breath here. We'll slowly exhale that breath. And let's grab a lacrosse ball and take our attention to your left pec. So we'll go face down on that lacrosse ball and start by searching through that whole chest muscle. And you might find tension in up around the collarbone, might be in closer to the armpit, might be the lower chest, might be the sternum. Feel out what needs attention today. And once you've found a good spot, settle in, take your attention back to your breath. Feel free to adjust your posture. If you struggle with overhead, feel free to work on your pecs while your elbows above your shoulder line to help free up the pecs in the position of restriction. And once you've settled into the right version of this exercise, focus on finding that nice relaxing rhythm with your breath. If you've been counting your breath, resume your count. Find that pace that challenges you and still allows you to relax. And with each passing breath, challenge yourself to get more passive in your mind and throughout your whole body. Let's take one more breath here. We'll slowly sigh out that breath and we'll shift into the right side. Feel free to start around the same area if you've been working a good spot on the left. And if you find the right side needs something different, then keep searching. Find the spot that needs attention on this right side. Settle into the right amount of pressure, working within your pain-free range. Settling into the right shoulder position. Sometimes it's helpful to get a slight pec stretch, lifting your left side off your body. These are all options, and they're all there for you, and some of them will work better than others for you. Just pick and choose what your body's okay with for today. And once you're there, concentrate on getting passive. Every passing breath, challenge yourself to get more relaxed through that target area and through your mind and through any tissue we don't absolutely need right now to hold this position. Relaxing through that whole lower body, your face, your head, your neck. Let's take one more breath here. And as you exhale, we'll shift our attention to the left side lat. So the lats sit on the back side of your ribs, your wing muscles. Start by searching through that area. You might find tension again in from around the armpit. Might find it lower or mid. Just feel out what needs attention. And then settle into the right stimulus, right angle we're leaning, the right shoulder posture. Concentrate on getting nice and relaxed. Settling back into that rhythm of breath that helps you find calm and peace. Allow yourself to immerse into the moment, just enjoying being present, letting go of any stress or tension. Whatever else is going on in your life doesn't matter. All that matters is right here for this next 20 minutes. Settling back into that nice relaxing rhythm of breath. And let's slowly sigh out that breath and transition into the right side. Start with a quick search. Feel out what you need on this right side. And once you've found that spot, experiment again with the angle we're leaning, how much pressure we're leaning in, the angle of your shoulder. And once you've settled into the version, center your focus back on getting passive. Challenging yourself to sync your breathing with that target area. As your lungs let go of air, imagine that lat just letting go of tension. Let it just float away. And scanning through your body. Every breath, challenge yourself to turn off a new muscle. Feel your body sink a little heavier into your mat. Mentally go into your happy place. Let's take a more long, slow, deep, relaxing breath here. Take your time sighing out that breath. And we'll transition into your left T-spine. So your thoracic spine extends all along your ribs. So start by searching just to the left of your spine, along the ribs, for anything that feels like it needs attention. And it might be a knot, a trigger point, just something that feels sticky. Whatever it is for today, just settle in, let that be your focus. And then again, experiment a little with the angle, the pressure, your shoulder position. It can be useful to release that T-spine area while you're in an overhead position. And again, these are just all options. All those options are available, but none of them are necessary. This is your routine. You're in charge. Just feel out what you need physically and mentally today. And again, concentrate on getting as passive as you can through as much of your body as you can. One more breath here. Take your time sighing out that breath. And we'll switch to the right side. Start by panning through that right side of your thoracic spine. Searching for where you're carrying tension. Might be in the same spot you found on the left. And if not, keep searching. Feel out what needs attention today. And again, experiment with your angle, your pressure, your posture. And then settle in. Take your attention back to your breath. Getting nice and chill mentally. Allowing those calming vibes to spread throughout your whole body. And every time you exhale, try to calm a new tissue. Whether that's your face, your neck, your head, your brow, your mouth, your feet. Just become aware of where you're carrying tension, and then just let it go. Let's take one more breath here. Take your time sighing out that breath. We'll grab that foam roller for a little segmental work through that thoracic spine. If you don't have a foam roller, you can do this with a lacrosse ball. The objective here is try to move your spine through a single joint, which may feel like a single point. So just rolling that roller up along that spine, one segment at a time, and extending that spine around that roller at that point. This is a fairly active exercise. It can be useful to do this with your arms overhead, with your core activated to lock in that lumbar spine, to zero in on that thoracic spine. And continue to work your way through. Give a little extra attention to any areas that feel particularly stiff. We'll take one more breath here. Take your time sighing out that breath. And we'll move into a seated twist and bend. So you have that foam roller. It can be useful to lock that between your legs while you're seated. And start by twisting your body away to your right. And then laterally bending your body to your right. And then repeating to the left. We're just going to alternate directions. Each time we move, attempt to move a little further into your end range. So twisting a little further and also bending a little further. And keeping that roller between your legs can help lock that lower spine, those hips, so we can target more of that mid-back. And we got 15 seconds left here. Let's give it a good push into those end range limits, these last couple reps. Squeezing for this last rep. And we'll take a breath out and we'll transition into a puppy. So let's settle into a bowing position on your mat with your hips roughly above your knees. And focus on dropping your chin and your chest to the floor to stretch through that mid-back. And we're still going to get some shoulders here, but our main focus is on extending through that mid-spine. And once you're in the position, again, get as passive as you possibly can in this position. There's a few muscles we need to hold it, and there's a lot of muscles we don't. Anything that's tense, just let it go. And in a few seconds, we'll gently get active by attempting to reverse the stretch, squeezing through your knees and trying to pull your elbows towards your knees. And let's go ahead, starting with nice, easy tension. Attempting to crunch through your spine, pulling those ribs down, resisting the stretch. Big finish here. 3, 2, 1. Let's gently reverse. Squeezing through your mid-back, trying to push that chest and neck closer down towards your mat, ramping up that tension as we go. Finish with a big squeeze. 3, 2, 1. Big breath out, relax. Let's get nice and passive. Every time we exhale, let go of something that's tense. Let's take one more long, slow, deep, relaxing breath here. Take your time sighing out that breath. And move into a hinge stretch with your pipe. Grabbing your PVC pipe or a broom handle. Setting that up into the floor. And then dropping into a hinge with that arm grabbing that pipe into an overhead position. And just let that chest sink towards the floor. And as you're settling into the stretch, try to pay attention to which muscles are holding you back. They could be your triceps, your biceps, your pecs, your lats, your traps, your T-spine. Try to turn as many muscles off as you can think of, especially the ones that feel like they're sticky and restricting you from getting further. And in 10 seconds, we'll gently get active by attempting to press this pipe down into the floor. Then we'll go ahead, starting with gentle pressure, slowly ramping that pressure up as we go. Finishing with a big squeeze here, last 5, 3, 2, 1. Let's gently reverse, squeeze through the back side of your shoulder, trying to pull that chest closer to the floor. Deeper into that stretch, ramping up that tension as we go. Big squeeze here for the last 5, 3, 2, 1. Big breath out, relax. Let's get nice and passive. Just submit to that position. Relax into that pose. For finding depth at this point, it's by turning muscles off, not by fighting or pushing. Using your breath to calm your mind. Using your mind to calm those muscles. Let's take one more long, slow, deep, relaxing breath here. And then slowly sigh out that breath and switch to the right side. So letting that chest fall towards your mat. Stretch that overhead position. And again, as you're settling in, take note of what is on or restrictive that we can turn off. Try to find depth in this position by relaxing into it. Working within your pain-free limits, but challenging yourself to get as deep into this stretch as your body can handle today. Nice relaxing breaths, as passive as we can. And in 10 seconds, we'll gently get active again by attempting to press that pipe down into the floor. And let's go ahead, starting nice and easy. Flexing through those lats, actively trying to press that pipe through the floor, ramping up tension as we go. Finishing with a big squeeze. 3, 2, 1. Let's gently reverse. Actively pulling that chest closer to the floor. Deeper into that stretch, ramping up that tension, finishing with a big squeeze. 3, 2, 1. Big breath out, relax. Let's get nice and passive. Submit to the position. Run through that checklist. Are your triceps tight? Are your biceps tight? Are your pecs tight? Are your lats tight? Anything that's carrying tension, just breathe it out and let it go. And we'll take one more breath here. We'll slowly sigh out that breath. And we'll transition into some handcuffs. So let's start with your hands behind your head. Extending your arms out into a Y, as far behind you as possible. And then bringing them down along your body, as close to your midline as you can. Finishing in behind your back. And then reversing on the way back up. Generally, the harder we work through this exercise, the more benefit we get from the rest of the program. So challenge yourself to work right along the outer limits of your pain-free range. We don't want pain, but this should feel like work. Challenge yourself into those end ranges, especially where you feel most restricted. It can be useful sometimes to give a second wind push. When you feel like you've hit a wall, give a subtle tug, a push further into it. Let's really squeeze here for these last few. And we'll finish off this rep. We'll sigh it out. We'll call it a day. Thanks for joining us here today. Hope you enjoyed the routine. If you did, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for supporting us. Enjoy the rest of your day. We'll see you tomorrow.